Barak Yahuwah, Barak Yahuwah. Shalom to all 12 tribes of Yasharal, wherever your feet are touching the soil on this flat plain earth, on this second Yom, what you in worldly terms might know as a Monday. On this second Yom, shalom to the elder brother Yehuda, Yahuwah's covenant-keeping people, and the younger brother Ephraim, the former stranger, the former Gar, who now, via the redemptive dam of Yahushua HaMashiach, in which he spilt on the fourth Yom, what you might know as a Wednesday, on the 9th hour, 3 p.m., the dam no different to the same dam, the same sign that was given to Yasharal, that Yahuwah, whilst they were enslaved in Mitzrayim, Yahuwah may pass over them, smiting the firstborns, the Bakurim of Mitzrayim. This dam now covering us through Yahushua HaMashiach, pouring his pure innocent dam, buying us back with a price, pouring it upon the soil, us a representation of the soil, for we, these earthen vessels, are but dirt, are but dust. Through such a sign, through Yahuwah now passing over us, now atoning for our crime, and soon to be fully fulfilled, passing us over into everlasting life. 144,000 unto Mount Zion in just the nick of time, as the great 3.5 years of tribulation is just now about to take place. Shalom to the former stranger who now, via such a sign, such a covering, such redemptive dam, is now privy to being grafted back into the middle branch of the menorah, back into Hanatzah, us being the Natzarim, Hanatzah being Yahushua HaMashiach, back into Yehuda, back into covenant. This is spiritual covenant, a circumcision not made with hands, a circumcision not recognized by your skin color, by your genealogy, but by your obedience in Yahuwah, who is now made privy to being grafted back into the gift, the same inheritance that was given to Yasharal, an inheritance of everlasting life, and a gift, a promise that was given to Yasharal and to Yasharal alone. Shalom. Now, you might hear that there is a bit of heed, there is a bit of zeal, there is as an urgency in the voice of this earthen vessel. That's because the Ruach Yahuwah has pressed in the love of this earthen vessel to quickly, with haste, with a great powerful message, make this proclamation. The great powerful message being that you are running out of time. It cannot be said any other way. It cannot be said any other way. If you have even the slightest bit of discernment in this season, you can see that we are in the consummation of times. You can see that left, right, and center there are false shepherds, false sheep, sheep in wolves' clothing, going around as ravening wolves and eating up Yasharal, eating up Yahuwah's people who in naivety are looking everywhere but the word for Yahuwah's truth. They're looking to the left to this YouTube channel, and to the right to this Facebook community chat, but they're looking everywhere but Yahuwah's word. And so these false Mashiachs, these false prophets, these sheep in wolves' clothing are eating up Yahuwah's people. Now, the Master wants you to know that you are running out of time. So perhaps, knowing this, knowing that the truth, the way, truth, and life of our Messiah Yahushua HaMashiach, our Master Yahuwah, is found right here in the Dabar Yahuwah, the word Yahuwah. And in this end time word in which he has given us in this season, he is telling us, he is very clearly telling us that looking anywhere else but right here in the Dabar Yahuwah, the word of Yahuwah, the restored text, you will find falsehood. You will find the left, you will find the right, you will find a rocky, thorny, thistly path. You will not find Yahuwah. You will not find the truth. You will not find his promise, his covenant, a covenant not made with hands, a covenant not recognized by skin color, a covenant not recognized by genealogy, a covenant not recognized by anyone else being our Redeemer, but a covenant not recognized by a Redeemer that is not Yahuwah himself. No. So the Master Yahuwah is Sabaoth, Kadush be his name, is here to lay down a foundation that you are running out of time. You are there. If you even have the slightest bit of discernment, you know that the end is here. And sorry to those who may come across this and perhaps think, this is a doomsday message. This is you're telling me I don't have time to get right with Yahuwah. No, that's not what I'm saying. You are hearing the voice of Yahuwah in live time as this earthen vessel is hearing the voice of Yahuwah. And so hearing the words, you're running out of time, you know that you have time right now to get right with Yahuwah. A short time. So you better study like you've lost your proverbial mind. You better cry out to Yahuwah like you've lost your proverbial mind. Come upon his altar on the 3rd and 9th hour, pouring out your whole being to him who poured up his whole being unto us. Now, without any further ado, we're going to get into the text where Yahuwah is telling us. He is revealing in again, live time, as we come to the consummation of times, as the next few days, perhaps weeks, perhaps months, but perhaps days. Yahuwah is getting ready his 144,000 covenant-keeping people to return to him on Mount Zion. So be taken from this world as darkness, Hasatan, will come to rule 3.5 years of Great Tribulation, where there will be lockdowns, where there will be perhaps no power, there will be perhaps no food stock on the shelves, where there will perhaps where there will be only the option to cry out to Yahuwah for redemption. For in Yual, the prophet Joel, Nabi Joel 2:32, it says, whosoever shall call upon the name of Yahuwah shall be redeemed. That's what Yahuwah's going to do. He's going to, for 3.5 years, put his people, more specifically Ephraim, the stiff-necked, those who are slumbering in this season, those who are slacking, those who are not hearing the word of his master, he will put them in a corner. So they will be forced to make a choice. Yahuwah will never make a choice for you, but what he will do in this great tribulation is put you in a corner. He will put you in a corner. He's sending you, if you're upon this video, he's sending you his voice crying out in the wilderness through this earthen vessel right now. If you are not choosing to take heed and come into covenant with Yahuwah in this season and put everything else, put your worldly idols, your worldly desires, your worldly loves to the side to get right with the Master. If you are not doing that in this season, he will put you in a corner. This is the 3.5 years of whose distress? Yasharal's, of Jacob's distress, where he will put you in a corner and you will have to make the choice. Cry out to Yahuwah, perhaps die a worldly death so that your being perchance may be redeemed. This is what we call the first resurrection. Without any further ado, we're going to get into the end time word Yahuwah has given us. You are running out of time. Get right with Yahuwah now. Look not to the left at this false YouTube channel proclaiming that Yahuwah is not our Redeemer. Yahuwah did not come to redeem us in the likeness of men, but in his own flesh and blood, paying the ultimate price, pouring out his being as he promised Adam. Do not look to the left where this YouTube channel might be proclaiming such. Do not look to the right where this Facebook blog might be telling you that because you are of Caucasian skin color and look, you cannot be redeemed into everlasting covenant. You cannot be preserved from the hour of trial. We're going to read, it's not about your physical appearance, your outward appearance, but it is the inward. It is the circumcision of heart. It is the washing. It is the cleanliness of your being. It is, have you washed yourself clean and prepared for Yahuwah? Has he rather prepared you via his Ruach HaKadosh? Via you bearing fruits worthy of Teshuvah, repentance, fruits worthy of everlasting Chaim, everlasting life. Please turn now to Yashayahu, the Nabi, the prophet, the speaker of the word of Yahuwah, Yashayahu, who you might know as Isaiah chapter 1. Chapter 1 in its entirety. We're going to read Barak Yahuwah, Barak Yahuwah. Barak Yahuwah, Yahuwah, let your end time word envelop us and let your sheep hear your voice. For if you've come across this video, then perhaps you are Yahuwah's sheep, because his sheep hear his voice, and another voice they will not follow. Another YouTube channel, another Facebook blog post, they will not follow. Only his word and his word only. This is why this is all the word of Yahuwah speaking. This is no opinion. This is no thoughts, opinions of self. My idea based on evaluation and risk analysis and thoughts is that the consummation of time is coming. No, this is the Dabar Yahuwah. And so the Nabi Yashayahu in the very first chapter of the Safar Yashayahu, the book of Yashayahu, the Nabi speaks. The vision of Yashayahu, this is starting at chapter 1, verse 1. The son of Amutz, which he saw concerning Yehuda and Yerushalayim in the Yamim of Uzziyahu, Yotam, Achab, Hezekiahu, Malakim, the sovereigns of Yehuda. Hear, O Shamayim, hear, O heavens, and listen, O earth, for Yahuwah has spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. The ox knows his owner, and the donkey his master's crib. But Yasharal does not know me. My people have not understood me. They have not understood my covenant that is not made with hands, physical circumcision, but they have not understood my circumcision of the heart. They have not understood the redemption I have come and brought, the dam that I've poured out, that you may be grafted back into covenant, not by your skin color, not by your genealogy, but by your obedience. They have not understood this. Oh, sinful nation, a people loaded with iniquity, a zarah, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupt. They have forsaken Yahuwah. You who speak that Yahuwah is not our Redeemer, that it was a man that he sent. Indeed, you have forsaken Yahuwah. They have provoked the Kadosh one of Yasharal to anger, and they have gone backwards. They have gone backwards. They have listened. They have gone backwards. They have gone backwards. Family, they have gone backwards. You're running out of time. Do not go backwards. Do not give ear to these people who have gone backwards, and so who will bring you backwards. Continuing at verse 5. Why should you be beaten anymore? Yet you will continue in apostasy. The whole head is sick. The whole head is sick and the whole heart is faint. From the sole of the foot even to the head there is no soundness, but wounds and bruises and open sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither soothed with ointment. Your country is desolate. Your cities are burned with fire. Your land, foreigners devour it in your presence, and it is desolate. Foreigners overthrow it. Listen here. This is speaking of Yahuwah's temples, Yahuwah's people. It is desolate, and foreigners, this world and the things therein have overthrown it. And the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a hut in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. Except Yahuwah Sabaoth had left to us a very small remnant. This is Yehuda in this season, 144,000, except Yahuwah had left a very small remnant of covenant-keeping people hearing his word in this season. We would have become just like Sodom, and we would have been just like Amorah. Hear the Dabar of Yahuwah, you rulers of Sodom. Give ear to the Torah of our Alua, you people of Amorah. To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices to me? Says Yahuwah, I am full of the burnt offerings of rams and the fat of fed beasts, and I delight not in the dam of bulls or of lambs or of goats. I delight not in physical genealogy. I delight not in you creating creating an altar and burning a Whole Foods lamb there on the altar for there to be an incense offering. I delight not in such. I delight not in your strange offerings of strange teachings. I delight not in you spending day and night writing these massive blogs on Facebook just to go against Yahuwah's word and promise. I delight not in such. When you come to appear before me, who has required this at your hand to trample my courts, to trample my people, to trample my promise? Bring no more vain offerings. Listen, bring no more vain offerings. Incense is an abomination to me. The so-called moons and the Shabbats, the calling of Mikra Kadushim, of set-apart gatherings. Listen, the calling of your own set-apart gatherings, of your following of the moon, are no better than the city of Jericho, which was the first city when Yahuwah was with Yahusha, Joshua, the first city to be besieged and overthrown. Jericho, they were moon worshippers. Listen here, the so-called moons and the Shabbats, the calling of Mikra Kadashim, I cannot put up with. It is iniquity. Even the Kadush meetings, your new moons and your Moadim, your appointed times, my being hates. They are a trouble to me. I am weary of bearing them. And when you spread forth your hands, I will hide my eyes from you. Listen, when you spread forth your hands, I will hide my eyes from you. Even though you make many prayers, I will not hear. Your hands are full of dam. Your hands are full of the dam of my people who you are leading astray, says Yahuwah. Listen. This right here is this right here is the action that has to be taken. We're now at verse 16. This here is the action that has to be taken. A watchman can warn all he wants, but if he tells the people not what action to take in order to be ready, in order to be prepared, what good is he of a watchman? Listen here, because this is the action that has to be taken. Wash yourself and make yourself clean. Wash yourself and make yourself clean. Tashuba. Repent from having led people astray. Repent from going backwards yourself and so bringing others backwards. Repent, wash yourself and make yourself clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before my eyes, says Yahuwah. Cease to do evil. Cease to do evil. Cease to do evil. It doesn't matter how many followers. It doesn't matter how many false doctrines you've built up. All it takes is crying out to Yahuwah, asking for forgiveness, that his living waters wash you clean. And hear what the Master in compassion in Rakamim will do if your heart is set right, if you seek him with clean hands and a pure heart. Learn to do tub, Yahuwah says. Seek judgment, Yahuwah says. Right rulings. Relieve the oppressed, defend the fatherless, and plead for the widow. Yahuwah says, if you wash yourself clean, Yahuwah says, come now. Come now and let us reason together, says Yahuwah. Though your crimes are as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they are red like crimson, they shall be as wool, says Yahuwah. This is his rakamim in this season. This rakamim is instant. This is instant. There's not much time, and Yahuwah himself knows. If he speaks in the Besorah, in the good news, that if the days in Matat Yahu, he says that if the days are not shortened, no flesh shall remain. No flesh shall remain. That means if my people, my people, as soon as my people make teshuvah and wash themselves clean, so I will come and I will reason with them. And though their crimes were once as red as scarlet, they shall be white as snow. Now, if Yahuwah says here in verse 19, if you are willing and obedient, you shall eat the tub of the land. If you are willing to teshuvah, to turn from your wicked ways, to turn from your fornication, to turn from your false doctrines, to give up your pride, to give up your pride from having read the book physically, but not looking with spiritual eyes. If you are ready to look with spiritual eyes, Yahuwah says, if you are willing and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land. But if you refuse and rebel, you shall be devoured with the sword, for the mouth of Yahuwah has spoken it. How is it that the truthful city became a harlot? It was full of right ruling, Zadakah, righteousness lodged in it. But now murderers that have dam on their hands, the dam of Yahuwah's people, the dam of those innocent and naive, your hands are filthy with. How is it such? Your silver has become dross. Your wine mixed with mayim. This is your doctrine mixed with false waters, mixed with physical waters, but not living waters. We're gonna read. We're gonna read shortly. In just the next chapter, you have physical waters and doctrine mixed with those physical waters, but no physical, no waters of life. Your rulers are rebellious. Yes, your rulers are rebellious and are companions of thieves. They are companions of thieves. Everyone loves bribes. Everyone loves funds. Everyone loves funds and asking for donations and follows after rewards. They do not defend the fatherless, neither does the cause of the widow concern them. Therefore, says the Master Yahuwah Sabaoth, the mighty one of Yasharal, I will be eased from my adversaries, and avenged of my enemies, and I will turn my hand against you, and purge away the dross of your rebellious men, and take away all of your crime, and I will restore your judges as at the first time, and your counselors as at the beginning. Listen here. Afterward you shall be called the city of Zadakah, of righteousness. The truthful city, Zion shall be redeemed with Mashpat right ruling, and her restored ones with Zadakah. This is the two sticks will become one. Yehuda, 144,000 in this season, having heard the Master's voice saying, you are running out of time, being prepared in this season, in covenant, being washed clean, having come and having reasoned with Yahuwah. Being brought to Mount Zion to be guarded from the time of trial that is now, not soon, that is now to come upon the earth. So 3.5 years later, Yahuwah's stiff-necked Ephraim, his firstborn, the one to receive the firstborn barakah, being put in a corner and giving up their worldly lives, giving up their worldly flesh, that perhaps their being might be saved 3.5 years later at the end of the tribulation. So being resurrected to Mount Zion, so two sticks, Yehuda and Ephraim, becoming one in accordance with Ezekiel's 37 two-stick prophecy. So Zion then shall be redeemed. So with right rulings, they will be redeemed. And her restored ones, Zion's restored ones with righteousness. And the destruction of the transgressors and of the criminals shall be together. And all, listen here, this is at the end, the destruction of the transgressors and of the criminals. Who were dirty and filthy with the dam of Yahuwah's innocent people. Who were teaching falsehoods, who were wolves in sheep's clothing, leading Yahuwah's people astray, telling them that they cannot be grafted into covenant because of their skin color. Listen here. The destruction of the transgressors and criminals shall be together, and also they that forsake Yahuwah shall be consumed. For they shall be ashamed about the oak eitzim which they have desired. Listen here. They shall be ashamed of the physical gifts and treasures that they have desired, the oak eitzim, the oak trees. And you shall be embarrassed because of the gardens which you have chosen, because of the doctrines and trusts and beliefs that are of man and not of the Dabar Yahuwah, not of Yahushua HaMashiach Yahuwah, our Redeemer, in which you have chosen. For you shall be as an oak whose leaf fades, and as a garden that has no more waters. And the strong shall be for cotton, and his work as a spark. And they shall both burn together, and there shall be none to extinguish it. There shall be none to extinguish it. Turn now to Yashayahu chapter 8. Over to Yashayahu chapter 8, and we're going to read verses 5 through to 20, beginning at verse 5. Yahuwah spoke also to me again, saying, for as much as this people refuses the Mayim of Shilu, for as much as these people refuse the living waters, the Ruach HaKadosh of Yahuwah that flows softly, and instead have their joy, have their simcha in Ratzin and Ramaliah's son. This is no different to Yehuda. This is no different to Yehuda, trusting in the doctrine of man, trusting in these fancy sounding things that are pleasing to the ears, trusting in I'm sweet because I'm this skin color. I'm sweet because I have some false belief that my genealogy goes back to the tribe of this or the tribe of that. Many other false doctrines. But this is what we're seeing in this season, and this is how we know we are at the consummation of tribes, the consummation of times. Because instead of trusting in the living waters, the everlasting covenant, the grafting in of Yahuwah, of Yahushua HaMashiach, they are trusting indeed in Ratzin and in Ramaliah's son. Which with context, we're not going to read here, but within context, we know indeed is nothing but Yehuda trusting in those who ultimately would do them no tub thing, who ultimately are leading them astray in this season, are leading them backwards. Now therefore see, Yahuwah brings up upon the Mayim of the river, strong and mighty, even the Malak of Ashur and all his Tifereth, and he shall come up over all his channels and go over all his banks, and he shall pass through, listen, he shall pass through Yehuda, he shall overflow it. He shall overflow and pass over. He shall reach even to the neck, and by the stretching out of his wings, he shall fill the width with your land. O Aman Ual, O Yahuwah is with us. O Yasharal, Yahuwah is speaking through Yashayahu. O Amanuel, O Yahuwah is with us. O Yasharal, who Yahuwah was once with you. Be shattered, O you people, and you shall be broken in pieces. And listen, Palal, I pray you get the context here. That these are Yahuwah's own people. These are Yahuwah's own people who falling ill to the doctrine of man, who idolizing those who claim to be speaking the bar of Yahuwah, who in accordance with Revelation, the 3rd chapter, which we're going to read, claim to be Yahudim but are not, who are idolizing such people and not looking at the bar, not looking at the word of Yahuwah, not looking at Yahuwah. Not asking Yahuwah for preparation in this end season to return to him on the hills of Mount Zion, to the mountains, but instead looking at man and what man has to say about being prepared for this tribulation, and not so being ready to be taken on eagle's wings in accordance with Revelation, the 12th chapter, verse 14, where it says that the woman, being Yehuda, will be taken on eagle's wings and nourished for times and a half. These are people who are looking everywhere but the promise of Yahuwah. Be shouted, O you people, and you shall be broken in pieces. And listen, all the far countries, prepare yourselves, and you shall be broken in pieces. Dress yourselves, and you shall be broken in pieces. No amount of kept away food in storage and of safety go-to bags is going to save you for what is coming upon the earth. Bodies on top of bodies being stacked, not just in the east as we're seeing now, but soon in the west. Lockdowns, this and that. This earthen vessel is not here to speak that word, but is here to speak the word that running. You are running out of time, and now is the time to wash yourself clean and come and reason with Yahuwah. And so your crimes being once as red as crimson, he will make white as wool. Take counsel together, and it shall come to nothing. Talk amongst yourselves in these Facebook group chats. Talk amongst yourselves, making these part 1, 2, 3, etc. series about our Father not being our Redeemer. Take counsel together, and it shall come to nothing. Speak the word, and it shall not stand. For Aman U'al, For Yahuwah is with us in this season. For Yahuwah spoke this to me with a strong hand and instructed me that I should not follow in the darak of this people. Yahuwah, if you have the Ruach HaKadosh, you will know that just as Yashayahu got this word from Yahuwah, you have been given this word in this season. That with a strong hand, that you have been instructed that you should not follow in the path, the darak of this people. Do not regard as an alliance what this nation calls an alliance. Oh, listen here, assemblies. Listen here, followers of Yahuwah. Listen here, do not regard as an alliance what this nation calls an alliance. Neither fear, listen here, neither fear what they fear, neither fear lockdowns, neither fear food shortages, neither fear what they fear, nor be troubled by them. Set apart Kadush, Yahuwah Sabaoth himself, him you shall fear. Yahuwah himself you shall fear. Listen, Yahuwah himself you shall fear. And let him be your awe. Let him be the one who getting on your knees, crying to him. Let him be your awe. Let him be the shower of signs and wonders. And he shall be for a place of refuge. Listen, he shall be for a place of refuge. He, not these channels, not these false preachers, but he, Yahuwah Sabaoth himself, shall be for a place of refuge. But for a stone, listen here, but for a stone of stumbling and for a rock of offense to both the houses of Yasharal. Listen here. Yahuwah himself declares that he shall be a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense to both houses of Yasharal. This means that indeed many will stumble at none other than the chief stone in which the builders rejected. Many shall stumble at Yahuwah coming and adding redemption. This could be the false doctrine that Yahuwah is not our Redeemer. This could be the misunderstanding of what it was that Yahusha came and did. Spilling his blood on the 9th hour upon the earth, ratifying a new and everlasting covenant in the order of Melchizedek, that we now are receiving a circumcision not made with hands, but by the Ruach HaKadosh and the living waters of immersion, may be grafted back into covenant with Yahuwah, may become a kingdom of priests and of rulers. While there is still light, while it is still day here on this earth, ready to be returned to our Master on Mount Zion. 144,000 in this season. Those who fail to understand, this is the exact stumbling that shall be caused by the very stone himself. This is the offense that shall be caused by the very rock himself to both Yehuda and Ephraim, both those who claim to be Yehuda by genealogy, but are not Yehuda in their inward parts. By those who with a stiff neck, Ephraim perhaps call upon the name of Yahuwah, yet harbor false doctrines. Those who want to look left and right, but not at what thus says Yahuwah. Yahuwah himself, Yahushua HaMashiach, shall be both a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense to the houses of Yasharal, as a trap and a snare to the inhabitants of Yerushalayim. And many, listen here, many amongst both houses, both Yehuda and Ephraim, shall stumble and fall and be broken and be snared and be taken. Now, the Master willed a video not too long ago called The Falling Away Has Come. If you are yet to go watch it, go watch it. The falling away has come and many are stumbling. The word has already been spoken. Let it not have to be repeated. Now, many amongst both houses will stumble at this stone of stumbling, and fall and be broken and be snared and be taken. This is now to come. This is now happening, rather. And I listen. Verse 16. Seal up the testimony. Seal the Torah. Listen here. Seal up the testimony of Yahuwah. Seal the Torah among my Talmudim. seal the royal covenant, Torah, the Torah that has been made new by the pouring out of precious, pure, perfected dam on the 9th hour of the 4th Yom. And I will wait upon Yahuwah that hides his face from Beit Yaakov, from Yasharal, from Ephraim in this season, from those harboring the doctrine of men, from those telling others that by amunah and by works, the two things Yahuwah requires, they still cannot be grafted back in by genealogy or by fault of skin color. This is wrong, and indeed, if you are speaking this doctrine, you yourself have Yahuwah's face hidden from you. You yourself are Ephraim in this season. This is not what I'm saying. This is what the text declares. From a spiritual lens, from not a physical lens. Simply reading this back to front to end, for beginning to end, reading these scriptures will do you no tub if you have not been circumcised in your inward parts. We're going to read sitting, thinking all's good, sitting back, relaxing, because you see a physical circumcision made, but not a spiritual. Yahuwah hides his face far from those. Listen here, Yahuwah says he will hide his face, and I will look for him. I will look for him. I will look for him. This indeed has a perfect reflective message that we must look for him. Only by looking for him, only by seeking, not by sitting back thinking you're sweet, will you find him in this season. See, Yahuwah says, I and the children that Yahuwah has given me are for signs. Listen here, 144,000 Yehuda in this season are for signs and for wonders. Look no more, look no further, but at Yahuwah himself, at the Ruach HaKadosh, and what he speaks through his Abadim. His Abadim who do not speak their own doctrine, who do not speak their own thoughts, who do not spend hours and hours writing all these slick and fancy looking blogs and posts, but they who speak with sense of urgency, they who speak Yahushua HaMashiach, the way, truth, and life thereof. You best know the way, truth, and life thereof. If you're if you're 30 minutes into this video, you know now the way, truth, and life thereof, the spiritual way, truth, and life thereof of Yahuwah. Not a physical outward appearance, but an inward appearance. The physical means nothing if you don't have the inward. The natural branches are not to boast above. The wild branches are not to boast above the natural branches. But if the natural branches are not even spiritually grafted, they shall be cut off. They shall be cut off. There is no difference. There is nor male nor female, nor free woman nor bondwoman, nor free man nor bondman when it comes to the grafting in of Yahuwah's covenant keeping people. Okay, Barak Yahuwah, just making sure we're still recording. Listen, verse 18, we're going to start again. See, I and the children the children being Yehuda, 144,000, with the Ruach HaKadosh. Anyone else, a liar. Anyone else, a liar. I and the children that Yahuwah has given me are for signs and for wonders. In Yasharal, from Yahuwah Sabaoth. From Yahuwah Sabaoth. You're running out of time means, listen, Yasharal. Yehuda and Ephraim. Listen, you're running out of time literally means that there is no room. There is no room for anything that is not from Yahuwah Sabaoth. You need ultimate discernment, and that can only come by an inward circumcision, by obedience in his Torah, in his commandments, statutes, and judgments, in the Shabbat, the feast, dietary laws, coming upon his altar the 3rd and 9th hour as continual ascending offerings. Remember, the watchman must give you the actions. Far too many who claim to be watchmen but are not giving you the actions that are required by Yahuwah in this season to be in covenant, to receive his greater seal. You need to ask yourself with everything that you see, whether on social media or whether in real life, whether in social media or physically, you need to ask yourself, is this from Yahuwah Sabaoth? You need to ask Yahuwah rather, even greater. Is this from you, Yahuwah? And he, if you truly desire, if you truly hunger, if you truly thirst, he will reveal to you whether it's from you or not. So he and the children that Yahuwah Yahuwah has given himself are for signs and for wonders in Yasharal from Yahuwah Sabaoth, who dwells on Mount Zion. Barak Yahuwah. And when they shall say to you, listen, seek to them that have familiar ruachim. Listen, when they shall say to you, seek to them that have familiar ruachim, who share listen. Seek to them that have familiar ruachim, and to sorcerers that whisper and mutter. Should not a people seek for their allure? Listen, who ask the dead about the living? Listen here. When other people, and we're seeing this again, we're seeing, this is how we know we're running out of time. When other people pass on other people's, this is already a red flag. When other people pass on other doctrines that they might say, oh, look into this, or look at what this guy's doing, or oh, I didn't study this year's calendar myself, but I know this guy studied it, so go and look at him for the calendar. Listen here, when people say, oh, I recently I've been brought the truth, being a false truth, that Yahuwah is not our Redeemer, and so is this other YouTube channel, etc. When they say such things, to the Torah, to the royal covenant, Torah, and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, to the Dabar Yahuwah, to a circumcision not made with hands, but made inward on the heart, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. Barak Yahuwah, Barak Yahuwah, Barak Yahuwah. Sealed. Listen here, you're running out of time. If they speak not according to the Dabar Yahuwah, the word of Yahuwah, to the pouring out of Yahusha's innocent dam on the 9th hour, it is because there is no light in them. If they speak not towards obedience, not towards the commandments, statutes, and judgments of Yahuwah, and so you may find yourself worthy to be brought to Mount Zion in this season before 3.5 years of tribulation comes. If they speak not according to such, it is because there is no light in them. Barak Yahuwah, Barak Yahuwah, Barak Yahuwah. Barak Yahuwah, Barak Yahuwah, Barak Yahuwah. When Yasharal, when Yehuda, when Ephraim, will you listen? When will you listen? It's soon. Listen here. Yahuwah says, I must, in Yehukanom, the 9th chapter, verse 4, he says, I must work the works of him that sent me. Yahusha says, while it is still yom, while it is still day, for night comes, listen, night comes when no man can work. There is, we are almost at sunset. We're almost at sunset. We perhaps are at sunset, where soon the Lilah will have come, and no man will be able to work. When soon Yahuwah will have no other choice, having warned you through multiple voices, true voices, as we just read there in the 8th chapter of Yashayahu, true signs and wonders where Yahuwah has spoke and cried out in the wilderness, saying, return to me, be in covenant with me. I don't care what skin color you are you obedient, is what Yahuwah is asking in this season. Bring me your best offerings, not the bulls of, not the fat of bulls or the blood of rams, but your continual ascending offerings of obedience, of thanksgiving, of shirim, of halal, songs of praise. And so in obedience, so in these continual ascending offerings of you pouring up your being, as I, Yahuwah says, poured up my being to you, you may be redeemed. You may be sealed and redeemed. Barak Yahuwah, Barak Yahuwah, Barak Yahuwah. Now, Listen here. Listen here. Where we're going to finish in the book of Yashayahu. We still have a couple precepts left, but we're going to finish we're going to finish rather Yahuwah's warning, sense of urgency, message that you're running out of time here in Yashayahu, now from the 8th to now the 9th chapter. Listen here, listen here, listen here, listen here. The watchman will always give you the actions to take. It is false watchmen. It is those who say they are Yahudi, outwardly, though inwardly they are ravening wolves, though inwardly they are not Yahudi, but are of the congregation of Hasatan, who will not give you the required actions to take. Yahuwah is giving us the required actions through this earthen vessel when we read from the beginning of chapter 9, Yashayahu. Quickly act. Drink this first, O Zabulun, and the land of Naphtali, on the other side of the Yarden, Galil, of the nations, of the Goyim. The people that walked in darkness have seen a great light. Listen here. Those who walked in darkness, those who were of the nations, those who were of Ephraim, have seen a great light. They that live in the land of the shadow of death, upon them the light shine. This is Yahushua HaMashiach. Upon them his redemptive dam spilt, for Yahuwah came not for the righteous, but to call the unrighteous to Shabbat, to repentance. You have multiplied the nation, Yahushua, and increased the simcha of the greatest part of the nation. The fullness, the completeness of the nations, Ephraim, have you increased to be grafted back into the olive tree. They simcha, they rejoice before you, like the simcha, like the joy in a harvest, as men rejoice when they divide the plunder. For you have broken the yoke of his burden and the staff of his shoulder, the rod of his oppressor, as in the Yom of Midian, the day of Midian. For every voice which is heard brings fear, and garments rolled in dam. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. For to us a child, Yahushua HaMashiach, Yahuwah, in the likeness of man, but in his own flesh and blood is born. To us his image is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty Eluah, the Everlasting Abba, the Sar Shalom, the Everlasting Father, the Leader of Shalom, the Leader of Peace, Yahushua HaMashiach, Yahuwah coming in the likeness of man, but in his own flesh and blood, paying the highest of high prices, shedding his redemptive dam, being the one who is not reckoned to or subject to days, to death, being subject and reckoned to days and to death, coming and redeeming us. To us he was manifested through the womb of Miriam, a virgin. To us He came and as he promised Adam, he shed his redemptive dam on the 9th hour, being impaled on the 3rd hour, suffering 6 hours, and redeemed us, that we may be grafted back in, regardless of skin color, regardless of male or female, regardless of free woman or bondwoman, regardless of free man or bondman. He came, listen here, to us a child is born, the leader of Shalom, and I will bring peace upon the rulers and even his health. Of the increase of his government and shalom there shall be no end. Upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, this is Yehuda in this season, to order it and to establish it with right rulings and with righteousness from now on, even Laolam Bad, even forever and ever. Listen here, the zeal of Yahuwah Sabaoth will perform this. Yahuwah, listen, the case is closed. The zeal of Yahuwah will perform the ultimate plan of redemption. This was prophesied by Yashayahu and is now fulfilled by Yahuwah himself, by the zeal of Yahuwah, in which he said will perform this. Yahuwah sent a word into Yasharal, and it has lighted upon Yasharal. Yahuwah, in accordance with John the 1st chapter, the 1st verse, the word was with Yahuwah, and the word was Yahuwah. Yahuwah has sent his word. He has sent a word into Yasharal, and it has lightened upon Yasharal. Anyone who understands the spiritual role of Yahusha's impalement understands that now through obedience they can be grafted back in. Anyone who truly is seeking him with clean hands and a pure heart in this season shall find him and shall be covered by his redemptive dam and be taken to Mount Zion in just the nick of time as the Great Tribulation now comes upon this earth, as the Yom shall be complete and Lilah shall come to rule 3.5 years before Beit Yasharal is restored in Zion. And all the people shall know, listen, even Ephraim, even those who are stiff-necked, and the inhabitants of Shamarun, the Samaritans, that say in their pride and haughtiness of heart, listen here, this is spiritual Ephraim. These are the ones who claim to be Yahudim but are not as well. The bricks may have fallen down, but we will rebuild them with cut stones. The sycamore are cut down, but we will change them into cedars. Therefore, Yahuwah shall set up the adversaries of Ratzin against him. Listen here, and join his enemies together, the Arameans before and all Philistine behind, and they shall devour Yasharal with an open mouth. For all this, his anger has not been turned away. For all this, Yahuwah's anger has not been turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. For this, for the people do not turn to him that smites him. Neither do they seek Yahuwah Sabaoth. They do not seek Yahuwah Sabaoth. Therefore, Yahuwah will cut off from Yasharal head and tail. Yehuda and Ephraim, those who may physically think they are worthy of the promise, but spiritually are not. Listen here, he will cut off Yasharal head and tail, branch and reed in one yom, one day of judgment. The elders and the honorable, he is the head. Yehuda, he is the head. And the prophets, the Nabi that teach lies. Listen here, the Nabi that teaches lies, he is the tail. This is happening now. Whether YouTube channel or Facebook blog posts, whether Hebrew Israelite camps, whether those who portray themselves as the true Yasharal, the true Israel, but are not. This is happening now, where the elders and the honorable, the head, the prophet that teaches lies, the tail, they shall be cut off in one day of judgment. For the leaders of this people, listen here, the leaders of this people, the leaders of Yasharal, those who you think are leading with their YouTube series, those who you think are leading with their daily blog posts and daily accountings of dreams. The leaders themselves, those cause Yasharal to go astray, and they that are led by them are destroyed. They are destroyed. They are destroyed, and Yahuwah will have no choice but to put them into a corner when darkness, when the adversary, when Hasatan comes to rule. Yahuwah will have no choice but to put them in a corner. Some martyrs, some prisoners, Yahuwah will have no choice but to put them in a corner, and so they will have to give up. They will have to see death in order to be changed, in order to perhaps be redeemed and brought to the Har HaMuad, the Mount of Appointed Times, in accordance with Revelation, the 16th chapter, the 16th verse, at the end of tribulation. Now, we're just going to go down to the last verse here in chapter 9 of Yeshayahu, which is verse 21, where it says, Manasseh, which is Ephraim. It says Manasseh, Ephraim, and Ephraim, Manasseh, and they together shall be against Yehuda. This is spiritual Yehuda. This is those walking in the way, truth, and life of Yahushua HaMashiach, inwardly having received the circumcision that is not made with hands, but that is made with living waters and the Ruach HaKadosh. Ephraim, those who claim to be Yehuda but are not. Those who in their stiff necks do not accept what Yahusha's role was, what Yahuwah our Redeemer's role was as he came and supped with us and so was impaled on the 3rd hour, and on the 9th hour shed his redemptive dam, ratifying a new and an everlasting covenant. Those who do not understand Yahusha's role will be against Yehuda, Yahuwah's true covenant-keeping people, 144,000 in this season, regardless of skin color, regardless of natural or wild branch. Ephraim shall together be against Yehuda. So Yehuda, having been that continual ascending offering, now in this season voluntary, understanding that time is running out, shall be nourished for times and a half on Mount Zion, while there is 3.5 years of tribulation upon this earth. Ephraim will have to be put in that proverbial corner and make a choice of whether to shuba from their unclean ways, and so allow Yahuwah in one big ascending offering to redeem their beings, perhaps their physical bodies to have to die a physical death. Barak Yahuwah, Barak Yahuwah. You're running out of time. Again, this might very well be the last warning. Think doomsday all you want, but this may very well be the last warning that Yahuwah said. Yahushua Hamashiach himself said, "He who loves this world shall not find everlasting life, and he who loves not this world shall surely find everlasting life." Love this world. Love the physical, the physical surface level meaning of this text, but not the deeper spiritual. Love not the world to come. Love not the shamayim and all that is done therein. And so perhaps you may find yourself reserved for the Great Tribulation. You must love not this world. You must love what Yahuwah has promised us. You must know, more importantly, you must know what Yahuwah has promised us in this season and walk accordingly. Let us now turn to Matat Yahu, the Basora, the good news of Matthew, Matat Yahu, chapter 24, and we're going to read verses 1 through to 24. Chapter 24, and we're going to read verses 1 through to 24. This will show how close we are. For all you need to do is hear the Master in the text that he has given us and that he proclaims on this yom through this earthen vessel, a voice crying out in the wilderness, and if you have the discernment of even an ant, you will know that winter is coming. You will know that summer, the time of gathering your food, now representative of spiritual food, of preparing in covenant for Yahuwah, the time to do such is running out. If not, it is almost run out. It is running out. And Yahusha went out and departed from the Beit HaMakdash, the house of the sanctuary, and his disciples came to him to show him the buildings of the house of the sanctuary. And Yahusha said, "Do you not see all these things? Truly I say to you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down." Listen here. This is just now. This is already taking place in the east, now to very shortly come and take place in the west. And he sat upon the Mount of Olives. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the Talmudim disciples came to him privately, saying, "Tell us, when shall these things be?" Listen here, listen here. "And what shall be the sign of your coming of the end of this age?" Yahusha answered, listen here, the first thing, therefore meaning the most important thing that Yahusha said, the first thing Yahusha said is, "Take heed that no man deceive you." Take heed that no man deceive you. "For many shall come in my name." Listen, this is spiritually, this is physically. Many shall come in my name. Forget about the ones that say JOD. Forget about the ones that say JC. No, that was pre-season. That was a time ago. Now we're looking at those who literally come in the name of Yahuwah, who come in the name of Yahusha. "Many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Mashiach, and shall deceive many." People are waiting. People are sitting and thinking that they have more time and are waiting for this to happen. It is happening before your face. It is happening before your face. When Yahusha says they will say, "I am the Mashiach," this doesn't literally mean they will proclaim, "I'm the Messiah." Sure, that perhaps is just about to come in the nick of time. But listen, many don't realize that what Yahusha is saying here is that many shall come claiming they are preaching the good news, claiming they are preaching a redemption in Yahusha's name. Many will come proclaiming that all you have to do is watch my YouTube channel or stay in this group and prepare as we are preparing. Many will come and claim these things and shall deceive many. Following on in verse 6. And you shall hear of revolutions and rumors of war. See that you be not troubled or become foolish. In other words, many will tell you there is great war coming. Get your go-to bags ready. Store 6 months worth of food and fuel and water, etc. Many will tell you how to physically prepare, but not how to spiritually prepare. See that you be not troubled, says our Messiah Yahushua, or become foolish. This is the text. This is not me. This is the text declaring these things. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. The end is not yet. Listen here. Nation shall rise against nation, Malkut, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Listen, all these are the beginning of sorrows. Sorrows meaning tribulation. Yahushua here is literally saying that as soon as you see many coming in my name, many claiming redemption, many claiming that all you have to do is follow me and you'll be sweet. And we'll be out of here. All 12 tribes are not taking into account what the text says itself, that there will be 144,000 to be reserved for Yahuwah, and so not have to see this tribulation. They are missing the promise. They are missing the goal. Mashpak, our family, they are missing the promise and missing the goal. And so all these things in which now are coming to pass are the beginning of sorrows or tribulation. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you. Hang on, who? Hang on, get the context here. Who shall deliver you up? Many who come in my name, who shall deceive many. Those same ones shall deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you. And you shall be hated by all nations for my name's sake. Listen here. You shall be hated by all nations for my name's sake. This is both now spiritually happening, but this is also a warning to those who may find themselves in the tribulation. That calling upon the name of Yahuwah, you shall be hated to death, to a physical death, that perhaps your being might be saved. And then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. Listen, and many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. Already happening. And because Torahlessness shall abound, the ahaba, the love of many, shall grow cold. Torahlessness is abound, and the heart of many shall grow cold. This is now happening in this season. You're running out of daytime. Soon nighttime comes where the heart of many will have been made cold. And Torahlessness will abound left, right, and center, as it is already starting to. But listen here, he that endures to the end shall be saved. And this Basora of the Malkut shall be proclaimed in all the world, for a witness to all nations. And then shall the end come. Listen here, this is for Ephraim, a witness to all nations shall this Basora be proclaimed. Perhaps these videos are also being reserved for those who not giving ear in this season, are finally coming to give ear in the season that is about to come, a season of darkness. Now, at verse 15, when you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the Nabi, the prophet, standing in the house of the sanctuary, whoever reads, let him understand that this has happened. If you go and look at the Revelation series, the Master just willed to be made six-part series, you will see that the abomination of desolation, it took place in our temples, not our temples, but in the temples of many, rather, all the way back in 2019 onwards. Now listen, then let them who are in Yehuda flee to the mountains. Yes, this is now. This is just in the nick of time. You're running out of time to be prepared. Let them, listen here, how can you change what the text declares? That them in Yehuda shall flee to the mountains. No, not physical Yehuda. No, not Yehuda by skin color. Yehuda by an inward circumcision. Yehuda by an immersion in fire and living waters. Yehuda by covenant. Listen, let them who are in Yehuda flee to the mountains. Let him who is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his bayit. Neither let let him who is in the field return back to take his clothes. You will not have time to get your ready bag or your gallons of water, your liters of water and of fuel. No, let him who is in Yehuda flee to the mountains. Let him who is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his bayit. Neither let him who is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe to them that are with child, and to them that are nursing children in those yamim. But make tefillah, make prayer that your flight is not in the winter, neither on the 7th Yom Sabbath. Neither on the 7th Yom Sabbath. This is the 7th Yom Sabbath because perhaps our flight will be on a feast day. On a feast day. Yahuwah did much on the feast days. For then shall be great tribulation. This is just now in the nick of time, such as was not since the beginning of the current world to this time, no, nor ever shall be again. If you are not discerning that this text is for now in this season, then perhaps you will unfortunately be reserved for a time of testing that is soon to come upon the earth. Perhaps you shall be reserved for the great tribulation in which has never been seen before on this earth, and so will never be seen again. And except those days are shortened, declares Yahushua in verse 22 of Matthew 24, there should no flesh survive. But for the elect and for the sake of those chosen, those days shall be shortened. This is literally meaning that how fast are the days going? Your mashpaka in this season, family. How fast are the days going? If these days are not shortened, if we weren't to be running out of time, listen here. Those who claim that this is the doomsday teaching, listen here and understand that Yahushua himself said, if these days are not shortened, no flesh shall remain. If there was not a little time left, no flesh should remain. No flesh should survive. Then if any man says to you, see, here is the Mashiach, or there he is, believe it not. For there shall arise false Mashiachs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it became possible, they shall deceive the very elect and chosen. Barak Yahuwah, Barak Yahuwah, Barak Yahuwah. If, listen here, if it became possible, they shall deceive the very elect and chosen. Now, it is only by pouring up your being, it is only by coming into covenant in this season, washing yourself clean and reasoning with Yahuwah, that though your crimes be red as crimson, they shall be white as wool. It is only by keeping his commandments, statutes, and judgments in this season, by seeking to keep the feast, to get to know Yahuwah in a greater way in this season, and grafting back into Yehuda 144,000. We're going to read the characteristics shortly, Yahuwah willing. It is only by doing such that indeed you, by your amunah, by your belief, and by your works, you shall make it that Yahuwah, having covered you, having sealed you, you shall make it that it will not be possible for you to be deceived. If it were possible, claims the Master Yahushua Mashiach, do everything you can, Yehuda, in this season to make it so that you give Yahuwah all the reasons to make it not possible that you can be deceived. For he says, if it were possible, meaning it will not be possible. Only 144,000 in this season. Those claiming the doctrines of men, those who cannot give up, those who are choosing not to give up their pride, or their worldly look on this physical look on Scripture, but not a spiritual. Those indeed the ones to be deceived by these false Mashiachim who will come in Yahusha's name. Forget JOD, forget JC for a minute. These are people calling upon Yahuwah who will deceive many, who will tell them that the Sabbath is not on the seventh day, who will tell them that Yahuwah is not our Redeemer, who will tell them there's no chance of receiving Yahuwah's promise because of your skin color. These are the ones who will do the deceiving and be deceived. Now let's turn to Revelation 3, chapters 7 through to 12. Revelation chapter 3, Revelation chapter 3, verses 7 through to 12. 144,000 in this season, taking heed to the message the master is proclaiming through his servants, not just this servant, but through his servants, which is that you must be washed clean, you must be perfect, you must be pouring up your being, striving in every way in his commandments, statutes, and judgments to receive that circumcision not made with hands, to receive the seal that is of the living Elohim, that is of our Redeemer, our Father, our rock, our strong tower, our refuge, our belt, and our buckler, Yahushua HaMashiach. Now, only 144,000 in this season are going to be guarded from the time of testing soon to come upon the earth. The precept's not quoted in this proclamation, but if you just have a look at Revelation, the 14th chapter, if you just have a look at Revelation, the 14th chapter, you know what, perhaps we will read it. If you just have a look, you know what, we will. We're actually going to read it. First, let's look at the characteristics. But if you know Yahuwah and His Word in ruach and amat, in ruach and truth, in ahaba and truth, in love and truth, you know that only those who will be found blameless before Yahuwah are going to be taken and so translated to Mount Zion and be nourished for times and a half, taken on eagle's wings in accordance with Revelation, the 12th chapter, verse 14, in accordance with the text, not in accordance with my opinion, my speaking, not in accordance with anything of this earthen vessel's own nature, but of the Ruach and of the Word, in accordance with the Ruach and the Word. Yahuwah says in chapter 3 of Revelation, verse 7, to the teaching overseer of the congregation in Philadelphia. Philadelphia representing the 144,000, one out of the 7 congregations who were found with no fault, and so will not see death, as we're going to read, and be guarded from the time of testing. To those in Philadelphia write, these things says he that is Kadush, he that is Amat, he that has the key of Dawood, he that opens and no man shuts, he that shuts and no man opens. Literally meaning that when Yahuwah's Ruach abides in you, no man can shut that door. No man can open it and take that Ruach from you. You hold fast to that which you have, as we're shortly going to read. This says he, indeed. I know your works. See, I have set before you an open door. I've set before you an open door. I am openly giving you my truth because you are doing what is required. You are obedient in this season. I've set before you an open door and no man can shut it. For you have little strength left. You are enduring. You are enduring. You are sick of this world. You are sick of the worldly things, the fleshly things therein. But nevertheless, you are enduring. And though you have little strength, but you have kept my word and have not denied my name. You have kept my word. You have kept my truth. You have been washed clean, and you have received a circumcision not made with hands, but made with the Ruach HaKadosh, and have not denied my name. I've set before you an open door. No man can shut it. I've circumcised your heart. No man can tell you that you are not in covenant simply because of your skin color. No. See, Yahuwah says, I will make them of the synagogue, the congregation of Asatan, who say they are Yahudim, who say that they are natural branches, but are not. Who say they are Yahudim and are not, but do lie. See, I will make them to come and worship before your feet, and to know that I have loved you because of your obedience, because of your pouring up of being, because of your fruits worthy of teshuvah, not because of your skin color, not because of male or female. I have loved you because you have little strength left, but have kept my word and have not denied my name. Barak Yahuwah, going on in verse 10. Because you have kept the word of my endurance, I also will shama, meaning guard you in the hour of testing. In the hour of testing, which shall come upon all of the Alam Hazar, all of the current world, to test them that dwell in the world. There you go. Because you have kept my word of endurance, I will guard you in the hour of testing, in the 3.5 years of great tribulation that is soon to come upon the earth. Take heed. We are running out of time. You are either guarding his word of endurance or you are not. If you are not, it is it is extremely suggested that you teshuba this very moment. Wash yourself clean in the living waters. Ask Yahuwah wash you clean in his living waters. Do not resist the living Ma'im, the Ma'im HaKaim, the waters of life of Shilu, which is Yahushua HaMashiach. Do not resist it in this season. If Yahuwah is standing at your door and knocking, let him in. Let him in, Mashpaka. Indeed, because you have kept the word of endurance, I also will guard you in the hour of testing, which shall come upon all of the world, to test them that dwell in the world. See, the Master declares, I come quickly. Hold fast to that which you have, that no man takes your kata, your crown, your truths. Hold fast to that which you have. Hold fast to the promise which Yahuwah gave you, that no man take it in this season. A promise that we literally just saw in the verse before. In a promise that if you guard my word of endurance, I will guard you in the hour of testing that is now. That is now to come upon the earth. We're running out of time, Mashpaka. You're running out of time. Him that overcomes will I make a pillar in the sanctuary of my Alua, and he shall go out no more. And I will write upon him, listen here, the name of my Alua, and the name of the city of my Alua, which is the new Yerushalayim, which comes down out of the Shamayim from my Alua. And I will write upon him my new name, which is Yahuwah Hazarakanu, Yahuwah our righteousness. Barak Yahuwah. Barak Yahuwah. Turn straight to Revelation 14, verses 1 through to 5. Hazun, the apocalypse of Yehukanon of John. Revelation 14, 1 through to 5. This whole book of Revelation playing out in this season, not beginning to play out, but playing out in this season. As we read, Yahusha himself in Mattityahu, the 24th chapter, said that if those days are not shortened, no flesh shall remain. The days are shortened, we're running out of time. If we were not to be running out of time, no flesh would remain. Yahuwah is doing all according to his perfect plan. 144,000 in this season, keeping his word of endurance. To be sealed with the seal of the living Elohim, Revelation chapter 14, verses 1 through to 5. And I looked and saw a lamb, Yahushua HaMashiach, stood on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000 Yashralim, having his name, the name Yahusha, and his Abba's name, Yahusha, written in their foreheads. They are Achad, they are one. Here, O Yashral, Yahuwah, your Alua is Achad, is one. The Dabar of Yahuwah, Dabarim, Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4. Here, O Yahuwah, Yahuwah, your Alua is one. And I heard a voice. I heard a voice of from the Shamayim, as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers playing with their harps, and they sang, as it were, a new song before the throne and before the four creatures and the Zakanim, the elders. And there no man could learn that song. No man could learn that beautiful offering except the 144,000 who were redeemed from the world, who were literally redeemed from the Great Tribulation, that now, as this account is taking place, as Yahuda has fled to the mountains to meet their father, the Lamb, Yahushua HaMashiach, as Yehuda has done this, so the 3.5 years have begun of tribulation, where Yahuwah will put Ephraim, the stiff-necked, into a corner where they will have to give up their worldly lives in one offering, one ascending offering, one whole burnt offering for their beings perhaps to be saved. Now listen, these are those who were not defiled with women. Take off your physical glasses. Yes, of course it means you're not defiled with strange physical women, but put on your spiritual glasses, the glasses of the Ruach HaKadosh, and see that this means these are those who were not defiled with false doctrine, with false man-made doctrine that speaks against Yahuwah's word, covenant, and promise, but that speaks against Yahuwah's adding of redemption upon the world in the manifestation of Yahushua HaMashiach. These are those who were not defiled with women, with false doctrine, for they are virgins. They are pure. They are virgins to Yahuwah's covenant, to Yahuwah's promise, a circumcision in the inward parts of their heart. These are those who follow the Lamb, Yahushua HaMashiach, HaMashiach, the way, truth, and life thereof, wherever he goes. These were redeemed from among men, being the Bakurim, Natzarim, the first fruit, and grafted in branches to Yahuwah and to the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of Yahuwah. In their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of Yahuwah. A simple way to sum up this urgent message that Yahuwah is crying, that Yahuwah is crying out unto you, a voice crying out into the wilderness, Yahuwah himself through this earthen vessel. Are you found? Are your words, are your truths, are your words, are they tainted with strange women? Are they defiled? Are you found? Are you found obedient and with no guile or falsehood, or are you found with tainted doctrines that are leading you to be deceived and go backwards, and others to be deceived and to go backwards? You need not to have your back up or be prideful when listening to this message, but you need to reflect. You need to reflect. Is your way, truth, and life in the way, truth, and life of our Messiah, Yahushua HaMashiach? Are you following the Lamb wherever he goes, or are you not? Only 144,000 in this season who are following the Lamb wherever he goes. Only 144,000 men, and then women and children are included. 144,000 men, women, and children in this season are found perfect, found blameless before the throne of Yahuwah, found with no falsehood, found as virgins, not defiled with strange doctrine, with strange women, with idols of this world, not defiled with goals of this world, with goals to I'm sorry, it has to be said, but with goals to eventually buy a nice big house, or eventually get that dream job, or eventually put away savings, etc. That your children will be set for life. No, the savings that we need to be storing up are treasures of the Shamayim. We need to lay up treasures in the Shamayim, in accordance with Yahushua HaMashiach and his word. We need to lay up treasures of obedience, of being washed clean, and so reasoning with Yahuwah, bringing him his daily offerings on the 3rd and 9th hour, ourselves as continuous sending offerings. We need to pour up our being to the one who poured up his being for us. And if we are not in this season, if you are not in this season, you need to now. You need a teshuba, and you need to walk in the darak, amat, and kaim, the way, truth, and life of our Messiah Yahushua HaMashiach, keeping all, not just some. For it's said, not one. I believe yud or kuf, not one jot or tittle or whatever you want to call it. Not one will Yahuwah spare. You need to be keeping his entire royal covenant Torah in this season, his commandments, his statutes, and his judgments. You need to understand his promise is not a physical one. It is not rather the token to his promise is not a physical token. It is a spiritual token, a circumcision made within. It is a getting to know Yahuwah as a man gets to know a woman, as a dam got to know Kua in ruach, the physical act being a deeper spiritual act of covenant, that's not made by skin color or by doctrines of man, or by the Shabbat being any other day than the seventh day, the Sabbath, the Saturday, what you might know as in worldly terms. This is a covenant. This is a covenant where Yehuda in this season hold fast to that which they have, and let no man take their crown. And indeed, if they are getting their crown from men to begin with, then perhaps they never had a crown to begin with. Take heed, Take heed. You are running out of time. You are running out of time, people. That we are in the consummation of times. This earthen vessel does not know how else to say it, but listen to the words that Yahuwah just spoke throughout the Nabi Yashayahu, throughout Matat Yahu, the Basora, throughout Revelation, where Yahuwah clearly shows that his covenant-keeping people are not defiled with women. His covenant-keeping people indeed keeping his word of endurance. His word of endurance. His covenant-keeping people are not concerned with, as we read in Matthew, what's happening in the world, are not concerned with storing up food or fuel, etc. But their fear, as we read in Yashayahu, Isaiah, is only in Yahuwah Sabaoth and Yahuwah Sabaoth alone. Palau that this end time final urgent seed has not fallen by the wayside, but in seed has fallen onto soil that, having been mushed by the hands of Yahuwah himself, is fertile. And so then being mushed by Yahuwah's hand, the seed sitting there on mush soil, may it then come to be watered by living waters. This is your act of obedience. This is your reasonable service to the shepherd, Yahuwah, Yahushua HaMashiach. And so being watered by living waters, may that seed sprout unto a plant of righteousness, a plant that grows up into a wonderful tree that leads to everlasting life. Gird yourselves with the whole armor of Yahuwah, the helmet of redemption, the breastplate of Zadakah, the loins girt about with the belt of Amat, the feet shod with the Zadak, tubnews of Shalom, above all else in the left hand holding the shield of Amunah, quenching the fiery darts of the adversary, Hasatan, being not deceived by any means, and in the right hand the Ruach HaKadosh, that the Bar Yahuwah, the word, claiming the promises that are far beyond physical skin color, the promises in which he promised that he would keep, a promise of 144,000 Yahudim in rock, in circumcision of heart, being guarded from the time of testing that is now to come upon the earth, and a promise of everlasting life. Until the next one, Barak Yahuwah. This is Eat Spiritual Bread, where we have done and do just that. We eat spiritual bread. I am Alessandro Ban Yahuwah. Take heed. You're running out of time. Barak Yahuwah, Barak Yahuwah, Barak Yahuwah. Amen.